Hello, my name is Dominic, or Mr. H, as my students call me, and I'm here to talk about the most important thing I learned in Purdue's Special Education Program course EDPS 51500. And that would be Google's accessibility features. So to start this course, we begin by getting the Google Educators Level 1 certificate, right? So this kind of goes over the Google Classroom and the whole suite of Google apps, right? So think all those things that come kind of like pre-downloaded when you get a MacBook, right? Um, Specifically, what I'd like to talk about is the vast array of accessibility features that Google has to offer. So I teach special education. That's kind of the point of this channel, is going over education-related content, right? So accessibility features, right up my alley. So without further ado, here we go. So the first one I'd like to talk about is Google Forms, right? So this is an app that allows you to take kind of like quick surveys and assessments. And it actually does have a lot of really neat accessibility features that allow us as special educators to apply accommodations for our students in need. Think in general education and in special education, it's a really good tool for making quick assessments. It can link to Google Sheets, so we get the data right away. We can process it then in the moment and actually change instruction as needed right then in the middle of a lesson, right? So think middle of a class, throw up 3 questions on the board, have the students answer it, see if they're understanding what you're doing. If so, go on. If not, review. At the end of class, have a little exit ticket, little survey, answer it, see if you need to review it tomorrow. But when it comes to my students that need accommodations, my special education students, it doesn't just allow us to have standard multiple choice questions, but it actually allows me to have pictures as responses, videos, audio, anything like that. So I can completely tailor the test to the needs of my students that may not necessarily be able to look at a text-based response, read those answers, and choose the best one. Next is Google Tasks. So this is typically integrated into, I believe it's like your Google Calendar, but you can actually get an app that allows you to pull it up on your desktop and kind of completely integrate the interface of it. And what's really good here is just like most of the other Google apps, you can also integrate into this hyperlinks, images, videos, all things like that. So I can make comprehensive lists, whether it be instructions, assignments, schedules, anything like that, and tailor it to my specific students. So I can give them that independence that they need, to foster those skills, but at the same time, I'm breaking it down and I'm explaining it in a way that's accessible to them. And those were kind of the 2 main things from that Google Educator course that really stuck out to me. But then from that kind of pushed me to do my own research into what else Google has to offer as far as accessibility goes. So now I'll kind of go into that. So one, they have a lot of cool sort of like voice to text features. So they have what's called assistant voice typing and then talk to text. They both do very similar things, where essentially you're going to be speaking and it's going to convert that to text, right? So thinking students that may have motor impairments, this is a way for them to still interact, to still complete those text-based assignments. Next we have action blocks. I think action blocks are fantastic. So this is going to allow them to, on their devices, on their mobile devices, to make an icon similar to how you'd have an app icon on a desktop. And this is a shortcut, but not only is it a shortcut to applications, you can make it to quick phrases. So it'll give out verbal responses. You can make it to images if they're using images as a form of speech. You can make a shortcut to just about anything. And not only are you making those shortcuts, but you're also choosing the images they represent. So once again, tailoring it to a specific student. So you're giving them that agency, but you're also giving them a way to represent themselves and a way to communicate. Next, we have camera switches. So camera switches are a way of mapping eye and like facial movements to controlling your screen. So once again, severe motor impairments, there we go, still accessing your device. We also have live caption and live transcription. So they're able to capture both recorded voices if they're watching a video, or live time voices around them, and convert those to text. So note taking, not a problem. We have screen readers. So if we have visually impaired students, anything that appears on the screen before them can be read to them. And finally, my favorite one, it's in their beta phase, but I really could see rolling this out to some of my students, because as the beta gets used, it's building the AI, so it's becoming a better product, and that's called Project Relate. So Project Relate is for individuals that have trouble enunciating, have problems speaking, and it processes their ability to speak their language, and then converts it to text. So it's giving them their voice. So it's allowing them to communicate with others that may not traditionally be able to understand them as well. So as you can see, in my field of special education, or in life in general, or just across the board, you don't have to have a disability to need accessibility features, right? I use closed captions myself in my day-to-day life, and I use many of those features: talks to text, screen readers, all of that stuff. So I think the importance of this kind of speaks to itself. And I'm sure as I learn more about the Google suite of products, I'll find even more accessibility features. So thank you for watching. See you next time.